Welcome everybody to our webinar titled Streamlining Fleet Maintenance, a comprehensive guide to scheduling, editing, and completing maintenances. I'm going to be your host, William. I work on TruckLogics support, and in the business development side, I've been with TruckLogics for quite a while, so pretty well versed in a lot of the ins and outs of the system. The overview for today is we're going to go over how to schedule maintenances, edit the maintenance information, and then mark them as complete. At the end of this presentation, we're going to have a Q&A session where we'll go over any questions you may have. Please make sure that your questions are relevant to the topic. If it's about any other information within your account or anything else going on, you can reach out to our support team and we'll post that information at the end of the presentation. All right, we're going to go into our live demonstration. I'm going to pause the screen and switch over to our test account. And we're going to go over what happens, how to get started, and where everything's at. All right, so as you can see here, we've signed in. And we're going to go over to our truck zone. Anything related to maintenances, equipment, trucks, trailers, driver preferences is always going to be in this truck zone tab. So we're going to go ahead and click on maintenances in this drop-down menu. And this will just take you to the general maintenance screen. What we have here, we already have some information entered, some maintenances that have been entered previously. And you can see the unit number that's being worked on, if it's a truck or a trailer, what kind of task is being completed, the last date that it was worked on. If you require odometers or want to put in a distance, you can enter that in as well. And then the next due date or due odometer. We'll go over a little more about that as we're adding the maintenance today. You can also include the vendor, and there will be a status depending on how you have entered the information in. And of course, as always within TruckLogics, you can always edit the information right here. But we'll touch on that later. So to begin, you can click on the Add Maintenance button, and you'll choose if it's going to be a truck or a trailer. And it'll take you to this screen. This is pretty much just setting up what the maintenance is going to be. And it's not necessarily scheduling it at that moment, but it's just saying this is something that's going to need to be done. You know, we do oil changes, tire rotations, anything like that. That will be entered in on this screen. First, we're going to choose the truck. Web T1 is the one that we're going to do some kind of maintenance on. The system will already have pre-filled options, but if there's anything that's not in here that you see or that you want to add, or if there's anything else that you're going to do, you can click the add button and create your own maintenance task to be done in the system. So for example, we're just going to say wiping the windshield. And that'll show up in here. And whenever you open it up, the next time you go to do a maintenance, if it's on a different vehicle, you'll see that it'll be in the drop-down menu for the maintenance task. If it's going to be something that's recurring, like oil changes, you can select that, and it'll ask you for a criteria. If you unselect it, this is just going to ask for the next due date that will be coming up. But as most truckers will tell you, maintenance is going to be recurring. You're always going to have to do an oil change or some kind of fluid checkup. So you will select the time, miles, or if it's your preference to choose whichever is lower, you can select that as well. And you'll just have to put in an interval for both time and miles. But just for the sake of this, we're going to go with time. And we're going to say every 3 months, we're going to be wiping the windshield. And we're going to calculate it from, let's just say we'll calculate it from July 24th. If there's any notes you need to add, you can add them in here. And any vendors, you can choose them, or there will also be a way for you to add a vendor if you're using anybody new. And then you'll just save the information. All right, once you save the task, the maintenance is going to appear on the general maintenance screen that we first clicked on when we went into this drop-down menu. And you'll see right here, the maintenance task is wiping the windshield. So the next due date is going to be, we set it for 2 months out. So the last service date was July 24th. So the next due date is October 22nd. And if you need to make any edits, you'll come over here. Say we, sorry, put it for 3 months. Say we should have just put it for 2 months. We can edit that. I just updated that, and we'll click save. And now you can see it's now showing 9/21 instead of July 23rd, October 22nd. This is just so within the system, it'll follow the date within your computer, and it'll just have it a day or two behind, so that way you know that it's going to be upcoming, or if it's scheduled, the status is shown right here. If it's something that's further ahead in time, it'll say scheduled, but as it's getting closer within a month or two, you'll see right here, it'll show upcoming. Okay. Now we're just going to go ahead and mark this as complete. And we're just going to hop forward in time and say that it's already been done on September 21st. We also put that it was a recurring maintenance, so keep that in mind. Once you go to click on the complete button, it's going to ask for the odometer. You can make that a requirement or not. That's up to you and how you want to use your account. For all of our fleets out there, if you have drivers that are entering in their odometers on their fuel ups or their trip sheets, this will be a good way for you to keep up with when their next maintenance is going to do if you're tracking by odometer. So we're just going to say around 100 miles. If there's any notes right here, you'll put them in there. Paid by webinar. And we're going to say that we paid it with a credit card. If there's any reference that you want to enter, you can put it there. If you need to change the vendor, you can edit that and update that in case you want something different. And then down here, you'll choose anything for labor, parts, miscellaneous, or others. So we'll just put labor was $10. If you have anything else, any other costs on the receipt or any invoice that you received from whoever did your maintenance, you can always add another line and then put that extra information. If you add an extra line, you can delete that. And then we'll just say windshield. Spell that wrong. Windshield. This is labor, and we'll just categorize this as parts. We'll just say that was $5, $5. All right, if there's any tax or any discounts that were applied, you can enter them there, and then you'll see the total already calculated for you. If you've got a receipt, an invoice, or anything that you want to add document-wise, you can choose that right here. And if you need to add multiple, just click on this add button, and much like the line, if you added any extras, you can delete them and just put however many files you want to attach. And it'll show you what are the acceptable formats right there. We'll just say a discount of $1. All right, so once you've marked it as complete, it's going to take you all the way to the completed maintenance page. This will show you the completed date and this is just going to show you a history of when anything was marked as complete. So we've got wiping the windshield, completed date on 9/21/2023. We had a discount of $1 and the total was $14. Now, some people don't always see that within their accounts. Fun fact, this will automatically appear in your expense transactions under that time frame of when it was completed. All right, now we've marked it as complete, but it is recurring. So if we go back to our scheduled maintenance, we'll see that it's already scheduled for November. It's a little further in the future. As we get closer, the status will change to upcoming. Upcoming is going to be anything that's going to be, like I said, usually within a month or two, or within a specific amount of odometer miles. If you happen to forget to enter in a maintenance or mark it as complete, if say we pass the due date on 11/19, no big deal. We'll just go over here to past due maintenances, and anything that is past due will appear right here. For example, let's just go ahead and add a trailer maintenance. We're going to put lights, inspect all. Every 1 month. So there wasn't any next due date, or we haven't updated that, but we'll go ahead and just put complete maintenance. But as you can see, it's just showing as past due. Complete maintenance, state that it was completed. You'll fill in all the information again, and then just click save. All right. And then anything, so let's go ahead and look at the expense transactions as well. Keep in mind this was marked as a future date, so if you don't see it immediately, always check the date that it was completed, because that will be the date that the expense is assigned to. So we're going to change this to custom date. And we've got our maintenance right there. Credit card, wiping the windshield, total of $14. Just show you the general information about that. Keep in mind, this is going to be for every maintenance. So once you mark it as complete, this will automatically create that expense account, that expense transaction, and you will not have to enter that already. Because some people, they don't realize that it's already added, and they'll think that they'll have to add the transaction again, but it's already there. Do not double up on this, all right? And that's pretty much it for maintenances. If you need to edit anything, you've got this action column over here that is always showing the edit button if you just need to stop a maintenance. To keep it from being recurring, you can always just edit it and then save it, update it. And if you just need to get rid of one, click on that nifty little trash can. And you'll be able to delete that and only keep what you need. All right, I'm going to go ahead and switch back over to our presentation for our Q&A session. At this time, you can ask any questions. If there's anything that I went over, or if you have any questions about something I might not have touched on, go ahead and go into your little questions box over here, and you'll be able to type anything there. I'll see it, and we'll get some questions answered. All right, we've got one question coming in. Can you schedule a maintenance on inactive equipment? That is a good question. Why don't I demonstrate that? We're just going to switch back over to our test account. We don't have a lot of questions coming in right now, but I'm just going to demonstrate this. as we switch over. So if anybody has any equipment that maybe you weren't using and say you forgot to mark it as not in service, or so you did go ahead and mark it as not in service, but you forgot to record a maintenance on it, you can go ahead and go over to the maintenance side, and you'll see that it's inactive for 188031. We'll go over here to our maintenance side and add truck maintenance. That truck is not appearing in here. So let's try with WebT1. We'll make it inactive. We'll say it's destroyed. Try to add maintenance. And as you can see, it's not appearing. So any trucks that are marked as inactive will not appear. You can only add maintenances on active trucks. Right. Very good question. While I'm waiting on any more questions, I'm just going to kind of run through what we've already talked about. So again, maintenance is going to be in the truck zone. You'll click on that little drop down. You can add maintenances for trucks or trailers. And that will show you, that will take you to the screen where you can start putting in what kind of task needs to be done. This is what it will look like for trailers. Trucks will look slightly different. And then you'll just add whatever needs to be done, check tire pressure. We're just going to say this is a one-time thing. And we're going to schedule it for the end of the month. Again, you can add any task if you don't have them listed already. Just click on this add button and it'll automatically appear in the drop-down list. Select your vendor. And then choose if it's recurring, your due date criteria, miles, time, or whichever is lower. And then save. Yep, would help if we chose the truck. All right, so this one's scheduled now, and we can mark it as complete. We can make any edits to it. Update them, save them. And remember, marking it as complete is going to require you to put some kind of payment in there. So make sure that you have that available, and any documents like receipts, invoices, anything like that can be added right here, and you can add multiple files. All right. Now I'm not getting much more questions, so I'm going to go ahead and switch back over to our presentation. That pretty much concludes our webinar. Coming up, we've just completed the August webinar series of everything within the truck zone. The next one is going to be focusing on the accounts tab. We're going to be focusing on invoices, driver settlements, how to generate them, things you can do with them, how to maneuver, searching for invoices, searching for driver settlements, and updating that information. You can see here, if you have missed any of them and you're new to our webinar series, welcome. We always record our webinars and you'll see them on our YouTube page. We have a channel where we make a playlist of each month's webinars and we post them, so you can always go back and find them. If you have joined us for a webinar before, but you weren't able to make it today, remember these are always recorded and will be sent to you via email. The upcoming webinar series, like I said, is going to be all about finances, accounts, driver settlements, invoices. So this is pretty much the schedule. By the time this is posted, we should have a link sent out to everybody or posted on our social media. And you'll be able to sign up for the next one, which will be September 7th. Again, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go ahead and sign up, even if you can't make it, because we will always send you the information. So you're not really missing out on anything. And if you are new and haven't started your 15-day free trial, go ahead and get signed up. You can go to our TruckLogics website, trucklogics.com, and in the top right corner, there will be a sign up button. Go ahead and start your free trial today. We are here Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Just give us a call. We'll be more than happy to help. And anything that you need. This is a great program for managing your company, and there's just a lot of good features within TruckLogics that everybody should be utilizing. Again, you can get in touch with us by phone, email, we've got a live chat, and we also have our social medias listed down below. You can reach us at 704-234-6946. Email us at support@trucklogics.com. We're located in Rockville, South Carolina. And we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Give us a follow and we'll post more updates about webinars, anything happening within the system, and just general updates overall. Thank you for joining us today. My name is William, and go ahead and sign up for the next webinar.